What is up, bros and psychos, and we are back with a brand new Titanfall 2 video. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss what I believe is the best Titan in the game at the moment. As far as no patches, no hot fixes, no updates, nothing like that, this Titan right here is the best. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 6 videos and I'm going to review all 6 Titans in each video, and I'm going to go from the best Titan to the worst Titan in my opinion. I'm just doing that so you guys can get a better understanding of what Titan you feel is right for your playstyle, or you may have an interest in trying different Titans but you don't know anything about them. So I'm going to break them all down in 6 separate videos. So what Titan is the best, you might ask? Well, none other than Tone. Tone is an offensive genius. He is an absolute beast on the battlefield, especially out in the fields where there is no cover and you have to use your defensive particle wall to use your cover and just lay fire on the enemy. I'm going to break down why I believe Tone is the best. I'm going to break down each of his abilities, offensive, defensive, and his kit that I use, and basically explain how I use him. And I'm going to show you some gameplay footage in the background as well as when I'm done speaking, so you guys can get a feel for how badass this guy is on the battlefield. So to me, Tone's abilities, they each flow with each other so well, better than any Titan I've seen. So what I believe one of the reasons that makes Tone so good is he excels at defeating infantry. I'm talking ground units like Spectres, Grunts, other pilots, things of that nature. Whatever's on the ground, actually, that's not a Titan. His 40mm cannon, in my opinion, is the best primary weapon of any Titan. It excels mid-range, it excels close range, and it's awesome at long range if you can adjust your aim for that drop, because it does, those rounds do drop off. They tend to drop off a little bit after a certain point. If you have a pilot that's inside of a building that's just laying down rockets on your Titan, you have that 40mm cannon at your disposal, and it's just one shot, one kill with a direct kit. Now, if you can't see the pilot, but you know he's in there, just shoot a few rounds in the room, and they're explosive rounds. So they will actually get area damage, and you can shoot 3 or 4 times and possibly get a pilot kill just off the area damage from it. Which brings me into his next ability that basically, when I say it flows, is his sonar lock. When you getting shot at by, say, a Titan or even another pilot in a room and you can't see him, you don't know where that's coming from, if you hit that sonar lock, it'll send a ping out, kind of like the pulse from your pilot, and it'll notify you, it'll show you on your minimap where the enemies are. And if there is, like I said, a pilot in a building shooting at you and you can't find him, that is the quickest way to find him and get a few rounds on him to make him run away or even kill him. Another cool thing about the sonar lock is it grants a partial lock on. Your 40mm cannon, when you shoot it at other Titans, it'll get a lock on, and Tone revolves around locking onto the enemy and just shooting bombards of rockets at him, and that's why he's so offensively powered. If you get lock-ons, every Titan will drop like it's nothing. So if you shoot a sonar lock, it gives you a partial lock-on. That way, when you shoot your 40mm cannon, you may only have to hit them once before your little circle turns red, and you can just fire your tracking rockets. Without enhanced tracker rounds, it takes 3 rounds to get a lock on. With the enhanced tracker rounds, you'll get 2, but we'll get into that in a second. But once you get a lock on, you can fire your major offensive weapon, which is your tracking rockets. It's like a heat signature. Wherever that Titan is, that enemy Titan, when you let those go, it is going to them, and it's going to do a lot of damage. And another cool thing about Tone is he's got a particle wall, which is a force field that he can drop, and it'll give you cover on one side. So if you're engaged with 2 Titans and say one's ahead of you, you're fighting, and one's to your left, you can turn to the left, drop that particle wall down, continue fighting. Hopefully you can drop that first Titan quick and then get back on the one on the left and get some fire on him. That particle wall, countless number of times, it's gotten me out of bad situations where I thought I was going to have to eject out of my Titan, but wind up winning a 2-on-1. So, I mean, it's priceless. And I keep saying, knowing where the enemy is half the battle. Once you know where the enemy is, all you have to do is put rounds on them, and you're pretty much golden after that. So Tone is really, really good at finding enemies and knocking them down. And as good as he is with infantry and taking infantry out, he's even better with taking out Titans. So the only time I really seen Tone lack in offensive ability is when you bring him into like urban areas, down alleyways and streets where there's buildings on both sides. Most of the time, that's where your Ronin is going to hang out at. They're going to be in there. That way they can dash around corners real quick, get up on you and hit you with their sword, their melee attack and everything. Once it gets up close to you, it's really difficult to get a Ronin off of you. So you want to keep that medium to long distance range from a Titan. So the best place to drop a Tone, honestly, is out in the open, out in the field somewhere, trees and everything, because you do have that defensive particle wall And if the enemy doesn't have any cover also, the faster you can lock on and shoot those tracking rockets, the faster that Titan is going to fall. So keep Tone out in the open, maybe with a few things to cover, just in case you have to dash away to escape a bad situation. Which brings me to his kit now. This I found is the most effective, guys. When you're running him, you need to run a turbo engine, which gives you an extra dash, and that's going to give you 2 dashes. That's critical with this Titan because his mobility is, he's pretty nimble, but he's not that nimble. He's a really big Titan, and he's going to need that extra dash to get out of a bad situation. Usually when you're fighting, you can be within 2 dashes of some kind of cover. Maybe try to circle around and regroup, maybe find a battery pack to get yourself a nice little boost in your health. So the second thing you want to run is enhanced tracker round. So what that does is when you get a critical hit, it applies 2 tracker marks on your target. Now you need 3 tracker marks in order to fire your tracking rockets. So say you pop your sonar lock and you get a partial lock on an enemy Titan, and then he peeks around the corner, you shooting with your 40mm, and boom, you get a critical hit. Guess what? You're locked on now. Now you can fire your tracking rockets. And your tracking rockets, it takes 1.5 bars down from what I've seen. I know I fought many Ronin and many North Star, and when I get tracking rockets locked on, I can take half their health down if every rocket hits. So like I said, his DPS and his offensive abilities are absolutely ridiculous when it comes to fighting other Titans. As far as his Titanfall kit, you either got the Dome Shield or the Warp Fall. Guys, don't run Warp Fall. It's really not worth it. Your Dome Shield it's so priceless, and the reason being, say you run into your Titan, say you just drop your Titan and you happen to drop it in a bad spot. I've done it countless number of times, and a pilot happens to kill you on your way to your Titan. Guess what? Now you're spawned on the other side of the map, and if you did Warp Fall, now you're unprotected. And we all know that a Titan without a pilot is mediocre. It's not even nowhere good as if you were inside your Titan, and basically you just wasted a Titanfall. So run the Dome Shield. That way if you do die, he'll at least stay in the dome for about 15-20 seconds. Just enough time for you to get back and get into your Titan. And if you have an issue with that, what you can always do is run Phase Shift, guys. Phase Shift is ability for your pilot, and it's probably the best ability out there that you can get. So basically what happens, you teleport into another alternate part of time for a few seconds and you pop back in. So that's perfect for a situation like when you drop your Titan into heavy enemy territory and there's Titans all around, and you just drop him, boom, phase shift real quick, get into the bubble where your Titan's gonna land, and then get into your Titan. Another good time to use phase shift is when you're ejecting from your Titan. When you eject and it's about to blow up, hit your phase shift, it'd be hard for the enemy to lock on. Another thing that makes Tone really good is his core ability. He's got a salvo core. So basically what happens is when you fire a salvo core, it's guided missiles that follow wherever you aim. Now, don't get it confused with tracking missiles. They're not tracking missiles, they're guided. So you have to actually guide them. So if you have a Titan that is sidestepping, make sure you follow that sidestep so your missiles will actually follow your reticle and actually hit the target. That's important. I've let go of so many salvo cores and wonder why I didn't hit shit, because I didn't aim. You have to aim. It's not tracking. It's not going to aim for you. You have to get in there and aim. So the only other Titan you really have to worry about is Legion. Legion, he's really good up close and on the front line. So if you ever come across a Legion, kind of keep your distance. Use your cover of buildings and stuff like that, or rocks or something, or a cave or anything, to try to keep your distance from him and pop in and out of cover to get your lock on so you can shoot your missiles. It's all about getting your missiles. So for Tone, try him out. He's really excellent. He is. I think he's the best. I really do. I think he's the best, barring any patches or updates or any kind of hot fixes coming out that made nerfing, but I don't see why they would do that. Each Titan is powerful in its own right. I just believe Tone, with his abilities, offensive abilities, defensive abilities, paired with the turbo engine, paired with the enhanced tracker rounds, he's just the best all-around Titan on the battlefield. He's good for any situation. Each of his abilities complements the next ability, and that's what it's all about. And he makes for a devastating Titan on the battlefield. So I'm going to leave you guys with some more gameplay of Tone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'm happy to help. I'll be doing Titan number 2 in a few days. This is going to be the second best Titan. I'm not going to give away which Titan it is. I'll do it in the video. I hope you guys do enjoy this. I hope it is helpful. I am Psycho Squad, man. You guys live easy and game hard. I will see you in the next one. I am out. Peace.